Hey guys. Well, this is a first for me in that this is a live broadcast on YouTube. And I've never done it before, and I just need to try it. But I want to share a story with you. This is my near death experience. It happened about 10 days ago. And whew, a lot of you guys know I've got this weird left eye thing. And what happens was it happened about, I guess it started about 5 years ago. And I started losing vision in the eye. It took them a while to figure out what was going on. Long story short, I have shingles or herpes virus inside my eyeball, not outside, it's inside. So you're not going to catch it. But when I get stressed, or yeah, it's pretty much just stress, it can trigger it, and then I started having issues, right? So I'm supposed to take a pill every single day to try to keep it away. I hadn't taken this pill in probably a year. Okay. Um, but I I'd gotten pretty stressed about 3, 4 weeks ago, and I felt my eye kind of doing this thing. And so I didn't really have time to go to the eye doctor. I needed to just make time. Why I didn't make time, I don't know. I thought I could fix it myself. And so I was trying to treat the drops I had. I was running the drops I have. Normally the protocol is like if I just start putting some prednisone drops in there every few hours, it's good to go, right? I didn't have any more. I ran out. All of these things pointed to where I needed to go to the doctor. Now, I understand how stupid this is. And that's it. Like, it's just stupid. But so about 10 days ago, I found a lot of drops samples in my bathroom. And the samples are the drops are very expensive. And like some of them are like, $400 a drop, right? Or a thing. And so I'm trying to check my, okay. I don't know why this is private right here, but anyway. So anyway, found these drops. I knew they had helped 5 years ago. They had actually expired 3 years ago. And I don't remember what they were or what they did. I just knew they had helped, or that we tried to use those to help. And so Tuesday night, I put a drop or so in my eye, and I was like, okay, it feels better. Still wasn't quite sure what it was. And at this point, for about a week, I lost vision in my eye. It's just kind of like, it's just like a milky film of my eye. It's not that it's just black, right? I can see images, but I just can't see like facial expressions, things like that. So I was losing or lost the vision in my eye. I was probably under a little stress still, but the eye didn't really bother me or scare me because I'd been doing this for years. Anyway, so Wednesday morning, I had a pretty full day. I put a few drops in my eye. It felt good. I put a few more drops in my eye. Put probably 10 drops in my eye within an hour period, right? And it was about probably 30 minutes to an hour later. I was going over to feed my friend's cat, and I started to get lightheaded. And so I texted my first appointment. I was like, hey, I'm going to be late. Like, I just realized it's going to take me longer to get ready. Anyway, I go over to my friend's house to feed the cats, and I get up the stairs, and I'm like, I'm exhausted. I cannot hardly move. I lay down. And I'm like, all right, something's not right. And I realized that, all right, now this is going to take me even longer. And I laid down for a little bit right in the middle of the floor. I just could not move. And so then I finally got the cats fed. And I'm walking back home and I called my first appointment. I'm like, it was Betsy, 8 o'clock. And I was like, I'm not feeling good. I'm not going to make it. And that never happens. But, so a lot of people knew that if I'm calling in sick or I'm not feeling well, that something big time is wrong. And so I just knew something wasn't right. And like I said, I had back-to-back appointments all day. And I already told my 8 o'clock Betsy. So then my next 3 appointments, I just canceled. I copied and pasted, hey, I'm not feeling well, I need to cancel. But my 4th appointment, I didn't cancel because I was like, if something really goes wrong and I die, number 4 person is going to like check on me somehow. Right. And I was like, I just got to lay down. I have no energy. I just felt horrible and I wasn't sure what was going on. And as I'm laying there on the couch, I was like, let me just check my heart rate. I checked my heart rate and it's like, it's on my watch. I looked and it's like 32. And I'm like, feel myself just falling asleep, drifting away. And then I see it 30, 29, 28. I could see my heart rate just dropping. I thought, wow, I wonder if I'm having a stroke or it doesn't matter. Like, this is it. And I was like, this is it. Like, I'm about to die. Like, this is where it's happening. And I just thought, wow, if this is it, I'm at peace with everything. I've accomplished plenty. Sure, there's a lot more I want to do, right? But I was like, I didn't feel like I needed to contact my children, final words, like none of that stuff. I was just like, wow, I'm just gonna just slip away now. And then I just kind of dozed off. And I guess it was about a couple hours later, I woke up and I realized then I was kind of very confused on the time, what had happened. And so I looked up this medicine I took is Comagan, which it's a beta blocker. And then I started remembering that it's, we put it in my eye to lower the pressure in my eye. And beta blockers, for those of you that don't know, it's made for like high blood pressure, it lowers your blood pressure, things like that. And you're supposed to have 2 drops in a day. And again, I had like 10 in an hour. And I was like, wow, that really lowered my blood pressure. And I just couldn't believe that happened, and then at that point I was like, okay, I'm feeling better, but my eye's still not good. And so I was like, I'm not going to go anywhere. Like, I was just kind of like, I don't know. I didn't feel bad hours later, but I wasn't feeling great. Actually, I didn't have any appointments in the afternoon. And so that was on a Wednesday. And then I finally get to the doctor on Friday. And everybody I'm telling the story to is just like, well, you're just so stupid. You're just so stupid. I'm like, yeah, I know. I get that. And then the doctor tells me, she's like, you realize had this medicine not been expired, you'd be dead, because the potency had dropped over the expiration time. Like, they were, expired 3 years ago. Right. And I was like, wow, that's kind of, now it's very not scary so much as like real, And so now I'm on this all new meds. My eyes getting better. I've got a lot of vision back. I'm not quite there yet. But it's also, I've said this before. It's kind of like, 3 years ago, millions of people knew my parents' name. They knew their story. And here we are 3 years later. Maybe 100 people have thought of them again or even thought their name, So it's like they got kind of famous for dying, but they didn't have a legacy. If they had a legacy, it would have continued on till this day. And I thought, wow, I have more of a legacy. But it really just had me thinking I need to do a lot more in this world to make sure my legacy continues. And that's just, can be that the more you do to help other people, that's kind of your legacy, whatever it is. But yeah, the more I tell my friends, I've told all my close friends before I did this live here. And so it's just very bizarre, but I'm like, man, y'all need to, make sure, what you're doing med wise. I'm sure none of y'all are this stupid, but yeah, it was kind of surreal. And I was like, wow, I don't really know how close I got to dying. I understand I should have probably gone to the hospital or had someone monitor me. Everybody says, oh, I would, you should just call me. I'm like, I didn't really think. I just wanted to lay down. Like, it's just unbelievable. But I'm also just so in touch with my body, health wise, and I knew something wasn't right, but I wasn't sure what it was. So there you go. That's kind of how my near death experience was about 10 days ago. Um, and, I think we become more at peace in life when we become at peace with dying. And I think it's hard to do. I think I spent a lot of years where I wasn't, but I'm just so at peace with it now. And, it just wasn't my time. And I've always joked whenever something dangerous or scary comes around that that's not how I'm going to go. Well, the reality is 10 days ago is exactly how I'm going to go, where I'm going to think everything's fine. And I'm just going to like drop dead. Ooh. So yeah, I've gotten rid of those drops and the meds. And I'm like, yeah, I just need to take the time because now that I'm going to the doctor, I have to go every week. And it just costs more and more and more. Had I just gone initially, wouldn't have cost as much, wouldn't have taken as much time. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. And I can tell you this, it won't happen again. I'm gonna do everything in my power to not do it. I thought I could not be stressful and not let's happen again. And you know what? It's just not the life I live. It's not kind of the person I am. I need the medicine that they want me to take. I need to be more aware of it. I need to slow down a little bit more. I need to just take the time for me. And so it's like this last week or so, last 10 days, I've really just been more very chill about it, not really cared. I felt more worse about canceling on my clients than I did about actually dying. And that's a problem. Like that's where you can care too much about what other people think of you or letting them down, and that's not ideal. So, all right, guys. Till next time. This was a live, and I don't think anybody was watching live because let's just face it, I don't have a big audience here. Anyway, all right, y'all.